You want to start a business, but you've got about as much capital as I have here. The good news is there are lots of no or low investment business ideas that you don't need a trust fund for or a bank loan to get started. As I explain in my book, The Zero Cash Startup, these low-cost business ideas aren't just side hustles that pay the bills, but real, profitable, low-investment business ideas, scalable, and a business you could eventually sell for life-changing sums of money. I'm David Port, and I've started, built, and exited multiple businesses, generating tens of millions along the way. And these low-cost business ideas can help you do the same. If I lost all my money and I had to start over, this is the low-investment business idea I'd start with. And it's probably the most overlooked goldmine sitting right under your nose. It's also the simplest business for you to start. It's turning your existing skills into a proper business. You already know how to do something. Maybe you're good with numbers. Maybe you understand marketing. Maybe you're a painter, good at cleaning, or love gardening. Maybe you can organize households better than anybody else. Whatever it is, stop thinking of it just as a skill and start thinking about it as the foundation of your business idea. As I explain in my book, The Zero Cash Startup, the mistake most people make is they think, oh, I'll just freelance. Well, that's wrong. We're not building a freelance career here, one that you get paid per hour. We want to build a real business that has scalable growth. Let's say you're good at marketing. Well, don't become a freelance marketeer. Start a marketing agency. If you're a bookkeeper, don't just work part-time on a bookkeeping gig. Start a bookkeeping agency. A painter, don't just do side gigs off Facebook. Start a painting company and start building a business. The question isn't how do I sell my time? It's how do I build a business around what I already know? And this is by far the easiest business you can start. To begin, pick one service that you can deliver brilliantly. Get your first client. Could be a mate's business, could be someone in your local Facebook group. Then do exceptional work. Document everything you do. Then get client number 2. This time you're not just starting from scratch. You've built a real system, a real business, and you start to understand how to get your customers and you develop from there. The thing I love about skills-based businesses is that once you prove the concept works, they're incredibly saleable. A digital agency with recurring clients and documented processes, that's worth real money to someone who wants to buy a proven system and a proven business. A painting company with a regular roster of corporate clients, that's really valuable from a buyer's perspective. Don't underestimate how big a business you could build around your skills. So stop chasing the next big shiny business idea and focus on what you already know. And if you need help building a business without cash, then check out my book, The Zero Cash Startup, over on Amazon. Another business idea you can start if you don't have money is e-commerce. Now, I'm not talking about dropshipping here. That's just a glorified middleman selling someone else's generic tat. I'm talking about building a proper e-commerce brand, and it is possible to do this with little or no investment. If you have some funds, then you can source a product to sell. Or if you don't have money, you can white label a product using a white label provider. So for example, there are platforms for supplements or beauty products like Supplerful. This is where you simply brand their products. Key here is you're not selling someone else's product. Well, you are, but you're white labeling it. So that means you're putting your own brand on it. You're building your own brand, and that is where the future value of your business is. And obviously once it takes off, you can then bring production in-house. So let's say you're a fitness instructor, for example. Rather than randomly drop shipping a range of gym equipment that has no link to you whatsoever, maybe you create a brand. Let's call it, for example, Fit Start, a brand that helps beginners get into fitness, so it's a specific idea. Maybe you start with resistant brands that you source from a supplier, but you brand them and you create proper packaging with your brand on it. You build a website that actually helps people. You create content around fitness for beginners. And if you're thinking you need loads of cash to do this, you really don't. You can start super small. You'll find suppliers online who'll happily rebrand stuff really cheaply for you. But as I explain in my book, The Zero Cash Startup, suddenly you're not just competing on price with every other dropshipper or seller. You're building something unique. You've got customers, and not just buyers, and customers that come back because you're going to market to them regularly. Start small, one product, properly branded, focus on solving a real problem for real people. Build your website using free tools like WordPress or low-cost platforms like Shopify, which I use for many of my businesses. The key is to think long-term. Every email you collect, every customer you serve well, every piece of content you create. That's building brand equity. And brand equity is what makes your business valuable in the future. So e-commerce is an excellent low investment business idea that anyone can start. You can start slow, build gradually, and there are businesses worth hundreds of millions, even billions, that started with one product, one website, and one founder. And that could be you too. And you can use my book, The Zero Cash Startup, as a guide to guide you through that process. Another profitable business idea I'd start if I was starting with no money would be content creator. Now wait, I'm not talking about randomly posting videos on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube here. I'm talking about starting and building a well thought out content creator media business with multiple revenue streams and something that can be sold in the future. First, you start with your niche. So ask yourself, what do you know? Once you've got your niche, choose your platform. Now, the typical advice here historically has been to pick one platform. So that's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, etc., and then dominate it. But I differ here. I think these days you need to be across most of the main platforms, ideally right from the start. Now, it is harder work, but with clipping and with using basic content across multiple platforms at the same time, it's actually a lot easier than you think. YouTube has a clearer path to monetization and generally a more stable business model, but it can take a long time, certainly 6 months or more, to build it up. TikTok is great and you can break through super quickly. And Instagram these days feels much harder with getting organic reach, but you will get there in the end with quality content. Over time, you can rely on the platform's monetization. So usually that's advertising, or more likely you'll want to build a revenue stream around your channel, whether that's courses, consulting, products, or all of them. The opportunities really are endless. And you can build a significant business being a content creator and creating a true media business around it. The key here is to plan it. Don't just randomly post videos. Think about it. Think about what your end media empire is going to look like and build your content around that goal. If you want a low investment business idea, content creator may be a longer path, but it is flexible, relatively easy. And if you're smart, you can design it in a way that you can build real valuable business around it. So if I needed to start a business with no money, content creator would definitely be on my list of business ideas. Another business idea you can start with no money, and I love this one so much, it's in my book, The Zero Cash Startup. I love it because this low investment business idea is one that you can build a significant business with, something that you will be able to sell in the future for life-changing sums of money. And it's so simple to start. This low-cost business idea is any local service business. And before you dismiss this as not cool enough because it's not some shiny tech app, some of the biggest venture capital and private equity businesses in the world are snapping up local service businesses and chains like cleaning companies, roofing contractors, window cleaners, businesses doing household stuff, gardening firms, plumbing, electricians, and loads more. And if it's good enough for the smartest firms in the world, it's got to be good enough for you too. Many of these are AI proof too, at least until we've got armies of robots, by which point hopefully you'll have a business big enough that you'll be the one hiring the robots to work for you. As a low investment business idea, local service businesses meet every criteria. They are easy to start, scalable to limitless potential, lots of ways to market them for free, and are highly attractive to business buyers, giving you a profitable exit in the future. If all that wasn't enough, local service businesses can be cash flow positive from pretty much day one. So what's not to like about that? There are few low investment business ideas around that meet all these criteria, making them one of the best no money or low investment business ideas you can get. I love them and you should too. Another business idea that you can start with no money is something that has the potential to have a big exit value when you come to sell, which if you follow my channels, you'll know is one of my biggest musts when you're building any business or starting any business idea. You must be able to sell it and sell it for lots of money. So this low investment business idea is anything around education. And I'm not talking here about doing some teaching online for hours or for hourly fees or quick money here. I'm talking about a proper business with systems and structures. You're going to build an education business, and particularly anything around online education and courses has one of the highest profit margins of any of the low investment business ideas I've talked about. Now, you might think, well, I'm not an expert in anything, and I'm going to stop you right there. You know more about something than somebody else does. You've solved problems, you've learned skills, you've figured things out. That's knowledge, and it has a value. The education business isn't just about creating courses, although that's part of it. It's about building a community around learning a particular thing. It's email lists, it's memberships, it's coaching, it's creating multiple ways for people to learn from you and pay you. So start simple. What's one thing that you could teach someone that would genuinely help them? Could be anything: how to set up a budget, how to use Excel properly, how to write a CV that gets interviews, how to grow tomatoes or tomatoes if you're one of my American viewers, how to negotiate better deals, how to do marketing for small businesses. Whatever it is, you know something and you can build an education business around it. Focus in on that area. Now, don't get too niched. You want to have a niche, but not too small. So for example, if you know about sewing, maybe you might want to focus on women's clothing, but you probably don't want to specialize in Chinese silk mid-length extra small jackets, as it's way too niche. Create that one piece of education. Could be a video series, could be a simple PDF guide, could be a live workshop, could be an online course. Put it out there, see if people find it valuable. And if they do, you found your niche. If you're starting your education business with no money, then content creation is going to be your main free marketing strategy. And there are lots of other free marketing ideas. So check out my other videos for lots of free marketing ideas that will get you started. Once you've got your product, then it's time to start your marketing, and you can build from there. Email lists of people who are interested in learning more. Maybe a membership site with monthly training. Maybe one-on-one coaching for people who want more personal help. I love education businesses as a low investment business idea because your content becomes an asset. Once you've created a course that helps people, it can generate income for years and years and years. And if you build it right, good content, engaged community, multiple revenue streams, that's the kind of business that commands premium valuations when you're ready to sell. So any business around education is a great low investment business idea that you can start with little or no money. So why not get started right now? There you have it, some great low cost and low investment business ideas that you can start with more ambition than capital. But here's the thing I want you to remember: none of these will work unless you think like a business owner from day one. That means systems over hustle. It means building assets, not just earning income. It means thinking about what you're creating has more value beyond your personal time and effort. The biggest mistake I see people make is they start with the right idea but the wrong mindset. They think small, they act small, and surprise, surprise, they stay small. But you don't have to. Pick one of these ideas, the one that makes the most sense for your skills and your situation. Start properly. Document everything, build systems, think about scale from day one. Ask yourself, could this business one day run without me? And if the answer is no, then put the right systems in place, the right processes in place to make sure it does. And remember, you can do it. Some of the most valuable businesses started from nothing. They became successful because the founder had more determination than money. They saw an opportunity and they built something real around it. The question is not whether you can afford to start a business. The question is whether you can afford not to. Hit like and subscribe for more business ideas. And if you're serious about starting a business with no money, then grab a copy of my book, The Zero Cash Startup, which has loads of free marketing and startup ideas. The link is in the description for more information. If you want to get my best business ideas and marketing strategies, then you can join my weekly business ideas and insights list if you want to. You just go ahead and register using the link in the bio. And if you've got any questions about any of these business ideas, low investment business ideas, drop them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Until the next time, bye for now.